Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Book Club. What if a transformational guide? All I can say is, what if my bangs were not colicky? What a wonderful world this would be. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I hope you guys are laughing. I hope you are. I'm going to just adjust one or two things here. Okay, we are going to get started in a second. Please don't get scammed. Don't. Hey, Noelle. Hey, Heather. Hey, Rebecca. I thought I saw something. Oh, yeah, Fawn is here. Yeah, I for a second I was like, I thought I saw something from Fawn, and then I missed it. Um, hey, you guys. Thanks for being in a book club. Um, so don't get scammed. For those who might be new, I don't know that anybody new is here right now. I think it's just us, which is beautiful and perfect. But I go live every Monday and sometimes on Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm doing a Thanksgiving Eve show. Thanksgiving Eve. Can you believe tomorrow's Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh. If you guys want to call in, I'm going to start putting people on air right away. Um, Tomorrow's thing is it, no Wednesday. What tomorrow's Wednesday? But can you believe Thanksgiving? Hey, Fawn. Fawn's the first caller. Can you believe tomorrow is or Thursday is Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh. Hey, Fawn. How are you? I'm going to invite Rebecca. Did I get? Oh, Rebecca, call back, please. Noelle and you were calling in at the same time. There we go. Here comes Rebecca. And then does anybody else want to call in? That's Rebecca. Heather, do you want to call in? If you can, I know you're at work, Heather. Um, Here's Heather. Okay. You guys, can you believe tomorrow is our Thanksgiving Eve? It's already Thanksgiving. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. That's pure craziness. Just crazy. 100%. So, okay, I will be live tomorrow at noon doing Q&A and Thanksgiving connections. Today's question is, what if love is who and what you are and everything else? I'm adding this part. Everything else is an illusion that we create based on past experiences. But those past experiences were actually supposed to teach us to go into being more in that space of love, to love ourselves even when others couldn't or wouldn't, not to buy into what others were saying or doing. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Catherine. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show again. What if love is who and what we are? And I always say, we come from love, we return to love. The idea is to remain love in the interim. Now, I will say this we don't want to, most people don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to have, we feel like if we're love, we might be taken advantage of. Hey, Nyor, how are you? Today is book club. Um, and if we're love, people will take advantage of us, or we'll end up with someone that will hurt us, or just if we're in that space of love, we will end up being hurt. But what if the idea is we love ourselves so much we don't allow that? We have so much love for ourselves, and that love emanates or emanates out so much that it doesn't even matter, or we just love and know ourselves so much that no matter what anybody else says or does, we just know who we are. Like, have you ever seen a situation where somebody says something to somebody? It's usually on TV, to be perfectly honest. And that person just goes, that's not true. Like they might try to bully them or something, and the person's like, that's not true. I'm fabulous, or whatever it is. And but they stand in who they are so much that no matter what anyone else says or does, it cannot phase them, not even a little bit. And that, I believe, is how we are supposed to be. So I'm going to open up the phone line. And I know Catherine and Shelly are working, but you guys are more than welcome to call in. Nor you are welcome to call in also. But if you cannot call in, please put your feelings about this in the comment on YouTube or on um, Podbean. And who on the line would like to go first? Who would like to be the first person to discuss with us? Mm, Noelle, do you want to go?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, excellent.
Well, I can think of a time that I was in college and I had a professor that was really horrible professor. I was a music student. That's what my degree's in. And he had a military background, and he used to yell. I play saxophone, so he used to yell at the saxophone players if they missed something or did something wrong. And of course, when you have somebody yelling at you, it's only making you make more mistakes because it's such a negative vibe. And he really hurt me a lot to a point where I wanted to quit playing music. And I thought about it, and I loved playing music so much, and I just despised this person. And the way he taught and everything about him. And I loved myself enough that I said, I'm not going to let him take that away from me, and he can go F off. But it was because I had so much respect for myself, and a lot of that had to do with my upbringing too. My parents were really positive, wonderful people, and but I wouldn't let him have that over me, and it took me years to get over the damage that he did. And some of the other musicians, they just quit music altogether because he was just so terrible that he got into their head. And but I wouldn't let him, because I loved myself enough that I wouldn't let him have that over me. I still hate him.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay that you have those feelings. And I will say this. Some people might say, well, maybe this was a person who was supposed to challenge you to the point and make you fight for it. I don't believe that. I just believe bad people or miserable people do miserable things. Bad people do bad things intrinsically. And this is just a person who was probably had no love in no way for themselves. Hey, 4Q, thanks for joining the room. Um, so I would say I'm so grateful that you didn't let this person end your music career, because that is part of who you are. It truly is part of who you are. 100% Noel. So thank you for sharing that. Who would like to go next on the call log? Fawn?
Yes, I can go next.
Excellent. Excellent.
Let's see. I do agree that we are love and that we are sent here to spread love and be love. I also believe that in doing that, we also learn, first off, through all the lessons that we get early in life. We are shown so many different things that really form who we are. And so our version of love in the beginning of our life is very different until you finally realize that, hey, you are worthy, you are enough, and you can be okay with just yourself. Being that you don't even need a partner, you don't need anybody to pat you on the back and saying you're doing a good job, because you're doing a good job when you're on the right path and you're keeping your light lit and you're just constantly doing the best thing you can do. And for me, that means even maybe helping somebody out that maybe wouldn't appreciate it or wouldn't understand that I'm going to do what's right by me, for me to do the right things, to show love to that person, even if that person isn't so great. But I also have learned about boundaries so much, and that's where I'm at in my life now, is that we can't let somebody beat us up over and over again and try to bring us down, because then that triggers those inner child things that you went through, and then you're going back to the inner child and you're looking at it as outside perspective. That's what I do now. So if I get triggered, I will stop and I'll look and I'll think about some of the things that I went through when I was younger, because I had a lot of issues with maybe not belonging. Well, probably a lot of the things we all went through, right? We didn't belong, or our light bothered negative people, because if you're really kind and sweet and nice, that will really irritate people sometimes.
Oh my
If
gosh,
they're low
yeah.
on your vibration, they just don't like it. And so I've found that for me, I just have to go in love and do everything with the best intentions, no matter what. The intention is love behind what I'm doing. And I think that that really helps a lot, just to kind of do that. Keep your boundaries up. But I also want to go back to what Noelle said. And I did leave a position into another team because of somebody that was like a military person. And it totally reminded me of that, because I felt every day, even in the chat, he was so negative, and so it bothered me to the point where when I went to work and I even see stuff in the chat, I couldn't handle it. And to me, that told me that this wasn't the right position for me. This wasn't the right team for me, and I had to move on. And I'm on a wonderful team now. It worked out wonderfully, just to let you know.
Yeah.
God is great, and He's found me a wonderful team right now. But that's what I think.
And
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. And in Noelle's case, it was like probably a semester or a period of time. It wasn't a lifelong job, which either way, it's very disturbing to deal with people like that. That can be very destructive to our light, our love, who we are. And sometimes we can just leave the team and end up in something better, and other times we cannot. But I'm happy that you had the wherewithal to leave that team and to be on something better. One of the things in realizing that you are love, and that is to know and understand and believe you are worthy, you deserve. And when we say that, we go, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know I deserve to live. Yeah, yeah, I know I deserve I am worthy of this. But then we what's it like do we live that? Do we make sure that everybody who comes into our life, here's what we tend to do. We tend to make excuses for a person so we can keep them. Okay, and I've done this. I've done it. I've lived this, where with whether it be with a friend, a family member, a partner, whatever it is, and I've done it with all of them, where we make an excuse. We say, well, they had a bad day. That's like, okay, if it's one bad day, okay, but if you have a bad day, do you make everybody else's day bad? Or, oh, well, they had a bad upbringing, so this is why they treat people this way. No, no, no. If you had a bad upbringing, then that doesn't, because there are a lot of people who have had bad upbringings, but they don't turn into the person who makes everybody else's life miserable. So that is something to consider too. I'm trying not to go too far into each thing. Like I don't want to go off on tangents today, but the idea is that if we were a newborn, that we were protecting and loving and nurturing, and I want everybody to think of yourself as a newborn. You would make sure that you, being the caretaker of the newborn, would have the right amount of sleep, the right amount of nutrition, the right amount of love. If anybody came toward this newborn that did not absolutely love this newborn, if they didn't hold it correctly, you would right away take that newborn from them. kindly, unkindly, you would say, "Oh, like, here, give me back the baby. It's, not whatever." We would never let anybody near a newborn that was not kind to it. We wouldn't let somebody sit in front of this newborn and say something to the effect of, "Oh, well, it's a little chubby, don't you think? We're gonna have to call 911 in a moment, ma'am." 'Cause but, I mean, we would never do that, right? We would never let anybody insult a newborn or let anybody anything with a newborn. So one of the things we have to do is have that level of protection for ourselves. We can no longer make excuses for people, and not even to keep them in our life, but sometimes I feel like we make excuses for the way people treat us. We justify it so that we don't have that, it doesn't have that full on effect upon us. Like if somebody says something negative or mean or tries to intentionally do something to hurt us, logically we try to find the reason. Otherwise, we're like, "Oh my gosh, that's just such a horrible person." And we don't want to believe that exists out there. But the idea is not to justify their behavior, whether we keep them in our life or not, but to be able to look and say, "This is not loving for me." And I'm excusing myself. Catherine made a comment. I can give love easily to community members when I'm at a high vibrational frequency, but I'm not able to always maintain that, oh, loving energy. Catherine, oh, everybody. That is so true. Listen, it's like working out. I'm going to compare it to working out because I'm extremely familiar with working out. I'm extremely familiar with the gym, and I know the ups and downs of working out better than I know the ups and downs of loving myself probably. I hope that made sense the way I said that. And no, we're not it's you have to put that in action every day. And Catherine, the one thing I want to say about that, I love that comment. I love what you're saying. The highest vibration, the highest vibrational state is the one where you love yourself unconditionally, you love your life, you love what's going on. Yeah, there are going to be ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. Seriously, life is a roller coaster. And then you're always in that frequency, right? And I know people, places, things come in that can kind of rock it. But if you have that solid feeling for yourself, if you have that very solid existence for yourself and that love for yourself, the way you love your kids, the way you love, well, sometimes your partner. I'm joking. But the way you love your children, the way you would love an infant, if you always have that for you, it's easier to keep that vibration going, that loving energy. Now, there are circumstances where you have to kind of put yourself first and not worry about the community. And I know people think I might be a little bit heartless. And I maybe the way I say it comes off heartless. I have a very different view about certain circumstances, and people choose their existence, and people choose their path, and people will say it's circumstances. In some case it is circumstances. In some case it definitely is circumstances, but in other cases this is what they came to experience. They came to experience this path. But I will say this, the more you love yourself, now the difference, and people say, but isn't it egoic? Egoic. I just have not had enough caffeine this morning. Oh my Lord. Um, the more people think it's egoic if you really love yourself. Like I can run around saying, I love my life. I love my life. And I truly do love my life. I love it 100%. I love my work. I love my people that I get to work with. I love my schedule. I love my home. Somebody else might walk in and go, "Oh, that's it's kind of dated." Yeah, I don't care. It's a roof, walls. I love it. I love it. I love that I have it. I love it's a single family. It's I love it. Okay. I love my home. I love my vehicle. Some people might go, "Oh, it's a Prius." And I'll say, "Hey, it gets 500 miles to the tank." 10 gallons of gas, 500 miles. I love it more than any partner I've ever had. I'm joking. So I love the aspects of my life as well as my life. Is that egoic? No, nobody would say any of those statements are egoic until I say I absolutely love myself. I'm going to sound like an egomaniac, and I'm not. And I will go into it a little bit. I love my hair. I do. I love the color of my hair. I'm not comparing my hair to anybody else's hair. I'm not. I just love my hair, this color, this bleach, bright blonde. It reminds me of stars in heaven. I love the brightness of this hair. I was dating a guy at one time that says, "You look good as a blonde, but don't you think you would look get better as a brunette?" Bitch, sir, don't you think if I thought I would look get better as a brunette, I would be a brunette? And I just straight up looked at him and said, "Go get yourself a brunette." That's the confidence I used to have. I just looked at him and said, "Go get yourself a brunette because I will never be brunette and that's your preference. Bye, sir. Goodbye, sir. Sir, bye-bye." Because this is what I love for me. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. I'm not saying it's better than anybody. This is what I love for me. I love my eyes. I love my face. Even though it's like if I lift my bangs, this is why I have bangs. Total pound puppy going on up there. I don't care. I don't care. It's because I move my face muscles a lot. I don't care about that. I love who I am and how I operate. I don't think I'm perfect. I don't. I can see sometimes where I am absolutely not perfect, and I have my moments where I wake up and I'm sad, or I wake up crying in the middle of the night. Who else does that? Please, somebody don't lie, but does anybody else fall asleep and then just wake up crying because of how other people have treated you? Somebody please don't. Rebecca, yes. Oh, thank God I'm not the only one. Like recently, someone came back into my life who I did not want back in my life. They just hella showed up and said like the craziest, meanest things to me. Like, "I said this just to hurt you." Really? Okay, that tells us everything about who you are, but whatever. Um, and then it brought back everything that I went through that whole time frame. And I started waking up crying again. So do I love that? No, but you know what? That's a purge. That's a body purge. Oh, Heather says, yeah, I do too. Is this common for women? Is this common because we don't have the time during the day to just sit down and cry? Because we're big girls and big girls don't cry. Is this common for women to just cry, wake up crying at night? But anyway, um, but I do absolutely love my life. And I am at a point now where I will sit alone 24 hours a day rather than have somebody in my life that is not loving to or with me. I will sit alone 24 hours a day rather than have someone in my life that will say, do, or act in a way that will be hurtful. And it's intentional. Even if it's not intentional, you are uninvited to my party of one. You're so uninvited to my party. And if it's a party of one, I'm so good with that. And that's when you know, when you don't need people in your life, when you don't want people in your life, when you don't feel alone and devastated that there are not other people in your life, because that's a thing when we have when we're taught that the more friends you have, the more popular you are, the better of a person you are. I know people who have a lot of people in their life and they are a piece of poop. They are a straight up piece of poop. And they're not a good person. They just know how to schmooze people. So, okay, let's go to either Rebecca or Heather. What would you like to say?
All right, I'm here. This is Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's see here. What did I write? What if love is who and what you are? Yes.
Yes.
We are love.
Yes.
And it took me a while to realize that.
Yeah.
But I think about it like, why did I not love myself? I'm sure I was born as a baby loving myself, but somewhere in that pattern, something happened for me not to love myself. And now I had to go through these patterns and figure out all these, like I had great teachers when I was here in Noel. I had so many teachers that cared for me and loved me and gave me some things, opinions that I didn't understand what they were talking about. But now that I'm older and I'm talking about elementary school, I'm starting to understand why they were just spreading the love because they noticed or felt what they saw out of myself being in school. Like there's issues at home, look at her or something. They were very caring for me. But I, now that I love myself, I can tell, I can see it. Some people, they're in love since they're baby. They're in love when they're teenagers. They're in love when they're adults. And they just spread their love because that's all they know is love, 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 love. And some of us don't. So we get to that point where we figure out love for myself. And now I love spreading the love. No matter what they tell me, if it's hurtful, I just listen and I just don't judge. I'm like, okay, there'll be love one day. They'll figure it out. What I'm feeling, how I feel. And I just don't judge. And that one person that hurts my feelings that I know is mean, like you said, crying sometimes is like, oh, that bothered me. But I know it's like, no, you don't listen to that person. That's no longer in your holding you back. Move forward. Just let those emotions out and move forward. That person is no one no more to hurt you.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And it feels weird when you're figuring out love at first.
Yes.
But then once you figure it out, it's like, it's beautiful. It's like you spread it around. It's just a beautiful feeling. But at first it is weird. And there's a lot of emotions, a lot of crying, anger, everything. But it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Here's what I just want to add this. We all want to be in love with someone. We all want to give love to, a lot of people want to get a puppy or have a child or have a pet and say, I want someone or something to love me. But in honesty, we want someone to give love to. It's a part of the innate human experience because most humans, healthy in the mind, humans are extremely happy when they can give love. It makes them shine. It makes them filled with joy. So when we get, let's just say, a puppy, and we have this puppy and we can give it love, we're so excited about that. And we want to be in love with someone. We want to be able to give that love to someone, even if we're saying we want someone, like I hear so often, I just want someone to love me. I just want someone that will love me. And I get that, but I think the truth is we also want someone we can love. So we can look at love and say, I want to be with someone. I want to have someone to love. And that really starts with ourselves. And the more love that we can have for ourselves and who we are, not just our characteristics, but who we are as a person, how we operate as a person. All the things I mentioned earlier, like the house and what I do and my life, those are aspects of me, but they are not the core me. Now, let's talk about the core us. At our core, we are love. The part of us that goes back home is love, that spark. Now, I'm going to give this, I hope I say this correctly. I really do. The more we are allowing that spark to be in operation, the more that spark is that love is in charge, or we are being that, the more we love everything else. Now, we have all gone through periods of time when we couldn't look in the mirror, for example, or we didn't love aspects of our life or the whatever was going on, and we were just kind of down and out. We've all gone through things that maybe have experience that we have had, that it made us love ourselves a little bit less because of what people have said or done to us, or things, choices that we have made, or whatever it is. And then it's difficult to like anything at that point. But once we get back into that, let's call it mojo of things, where we are just being love, we will love everything regardless of. So, in those moments, Rebecca's correct. That person who is very, might say hurtful things or do hurtful things, they won't have as much of an effect on you, if any effect at all. And once you get to a certain point, no matter what somebody says or does, you will be so strong in your love or yourself, because you are love. And you'll be so strong in that, that no matter what anybody says or does, it will not affect you in the way that it would had in the past. It won't bring you down to your knees. It won't bring you down a notch. It won't bring you down at all. Um, Sometimes we meet a person and we really like the person, but the person ends up bit by bit in certain ways chipping away at you. And you don't even realize it's happening until it's a little too late. Now, many of us have been in this situation. And I'm not only speaking of those of us on the line or watching right now. People watch this after the fact. They'll come on and they'll watch the replay later on. Um, and when that happens, when you started the relationship, you were strong. And then slowly being chipped away, you weren't as strong. So it makes it even more difficult to walk away. But if you can find that, and if you're going through this right now, find that place in yourself to get back to where you were, to get back to who you were, and build yourself up again slowly if you have to, or all at once. Just remember who you are, and you are love. I say this, and people, no matter what you believe or what you call what you believe, you are a child of this universe. You are a child of God. You are a spark of creation from the Creator. And when you remember that, when you truly remember that, one night I was in bed, and that's when I just talked to whoever's there. There's always a lot of people there when I'm in bed. Not in that way, like spirit wise. Um, and I was jokingly saying because my father was not really there for me growing up, and I was jokingly saying, "Wow, I just won the lottery on parents." And I heard this thundering message of, "I am your father," meaning God. And that really that is the truth though, and not being too preachy, but God will always be the father, the parent that we return to and has never left that spark, that connection is always there. And we have to tap into that connection. The people who took care of us growing up, they may have been great, they may have been amazing, they may not have been. Maybe one of them was good, the other one wasn't, but they're surviving what they grew up in also. I love to say we're surviving our past. Each and every one of us is surviving our past. But when we can get to that space where we ignite our love, which we're going to do like a mini meditation, a mini clearing, healing meditation to, first of all, ignite our love, open that up. And then, second of all, to remove and release anything stopping or blocking love, whether it's giving, receiving, having, being, whatever it is. I'm just going to leave it as general as possible so we can get as much as possible in. Before we do that, I want to let Heather say, go ahead, Heather. If you can. Heather's at work, so she has to kind of talk when she can. Okay. We'll wait, and maybe after the meditation, Heather will be able to come on. But right now, we're going to do a little clearing and or meditation. Now, if you cannot do the full meditation right now, like closing your eyes and doing all the things, just allow it to happen as much as you can, depending on where you are. I'm going to, if you can do these things, great. If you're driving, please don't do this because the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is close your eyes. Don't do that if you're driving or if you're at work and on your keyboard. Wait until later. This is at the 37-minute mark of the show. So you can come back and just listen to this part of it when you can fully immerse yourself into it. So I'm going to simply ask you to allow your eyes to softly and gently close. And as you do that, take a very slow, intentional, deep breath in. Just as deep as you can, very slowly, allow that breath to come in. And just hold it for a second or two. And allow that breath to softly and gently release. And we're going to do that a couple of times. Just take very slow, intentional breaths in, follow them all the way down. And then as you release them, let them be very slow and intentional and release them through the top. You may feel like it's going out of the top of your head, but it could be going obviously out of your nose and mouth. But what's going out of the top of your head is what we are already releasing. It's the energy being taking up and away. So here we go. Let's take that slow, deep breath in. Hold it for just a second and gently and softly release it. And in a moment, I'm just simply going to count from 3 down, 2, 1. And with each count, you will relax more and more. And by the time you reach 1, you will be in a very relaxed, very comfortable state. 3, two, one. Now, as you are here in this very relaxed, comfortable state, I want you to continue following your breath in and following your breath out. And I'm going to simply count from 3 down to 1 again. And every time I count 3, 2, or 1, you will simply go deeper and deeper into relaxation. This time, when I reach 1, we will heal, release, remove anything stopping, blocking, interfering with love, coming in, going out, being, feeling, allowing, receiving, receiving love, being able to give love appropriately, not to just anyone, but giving appropriately. Healthy love isn't dispersed inappropriately. It's given and chosen. And if you don't understand that in this moment, it's okay, you will. 3, heal, clear, release, remove anything stopping, blocking, interfering with. 2, 1. As that heals, clears, releases, removes from you, I want you to imagine garbage bags. Big, black, hefty, or whatever garbage bags, industrial ones. And they're lined up. However many bags you have, you have. And right outside of the window, there is a big dumpster. And all I want you to do is take each garbage bag, push it, throw it, get it in that dumpster. There is nothing in these garbage bags that is of any value. Each and every garbage bag has already been gone through. It could be old emotions, old incidences, old feelings, old experiences. The key word is old, of no value. Put every single garbage bag in the dumpster. Get it in the dumpster. And if a garbage bag will not go, ask it to leave on its own. If you can't pick it up, if you cannot lift it, if you cannot push it out, ask it to go on its own. And if it won't, ask you to show it what it represents so you can let go of that piece of it. But all of these bags should go very easily on their own. As a matter of fact, you may notice some of the garbage is taking itself out. Some of the trash will just take itself out and fly into the dumpster as it should on its own. And as it all goes into the dumpster, you're going to notice a big truck backing up and picking up the dumpster. But it will not take this until it is ready to go, until every garbage bag is in this dumpster. And because you want love, because you want to be love, because you want to have love, because you want to evolve and emanate in love, you allow all of this to go now. You allow it to leave in any and all ways that it can. And as you load the last bags of trash into the dumpster, into the huge, huge dumpster that will expand if it needs to, you look around and realize how beautiful the space is, how safe the space is, how comfortable this space is without all of this garbage in here. You realize those bags were stopping and blocking the right people, places, things. They were like a barrier in between you and it. And when the last bag hits the dumpster, the truck, in a moment, not quite yet, will drive away with the dumpster going into the sun. And as it does, you will feel and you will know a huge burden, a huge load has been lifted from you. You will notice a big relief happens, and this is for now and forever. And so we let that truck drive off with the dumpster, and as it drives off, you see it going toward the sun and getting smaller and smaller. And as it does, you feel this load lifting from you, releasing from you. You feel it taking every ounce of everything. Do you feel that? I feel that. Every ounce of everything. Now we're going to do one more little thing. We're going to allow you to release the cage you've kept your love in. You're going to see a key. It might be an old school skeleton key. It might be a new key. It might be a fob. It might be a handprint or a fingerprint key. Whatever it is, you're going to know. You are 100% going to know whatever it is in a moment, not quite yet, but in a moment, you are going to use it. And when you use this, when you put this key in, whether it's a fingerprint, a handprint, a retinal eye scan, whatever key it is for you, when you use this and it opens, you're going to notice everything coming out of this cage. And it's okay if it's emotional. It's okay if you recognize the things or you don't recognize the things. It's okay. But as all of this goes, everything that's been being held prison inside of you, everything you haven't felt safe enough, strong enough, you're going to now know with every ounce of your being, you are and always have been divinely protected. And this has been a cage that has been keeping you stuck, and you now want freedom. So you allow yourself to put that key and use that key now, unlock this cage, and realize you were serving a sentence that was never yours. This was never your burden to carry. This was never your sentence to serve. This was never you. These are things that were never meant to make you weak, but to help you stand tall and strong and shine even brighter. So you open that cage now, that prison, and as you unlock it, it simply dissolves into nothingness. And as it dissolves into nothingness, you feel yourself shining brighter. You feel the light within you, that love within you, expanding through every cell, every muscle, every tendon. You feel it expanding through every ounce of your being. Your brain is lighting up. Your eyes are getting brighter. And you can literally feel everything that was held being freed into the ethers, into the sky, into the sun, where they dissolve into nothingness and have no power, no effect, no control over you. You allow yourself to be in a space where you understand that not only you, but everyone deserves this. Everyone deserves that being of love. Everyone deserves that space of love. And those that are ready to be in that same space as you will be there with you as and when you are ready for them, and they are ready for you. Moving forward, you will simply think of yourself as the infant you are nurturing, loving, caring for, and giving everything to. I often ask, why is it when we have someone we love, we will help them flourish, we will show them love, we will give them things we won't even give to ourselves? From now on, we are that person. We help ourselves flourish. We help ourselves be. We give ourselves the things we wouldn't in the past. And that is not selfish. That is growth and expansion. And just like an infant, anybody who would not be kind and loving to our infant, they are no longer allowed to be unkind and unloving with or to us. And we understand we don't have to state that to anyone. We just move in a way that moves us out of the way of critical harm, thinking, and people. We understand that we are divinity from the divine. We are a creator from the greatest creator. We are created to co-create. We are the spark of the whole that came here to shine brightly, maybe not for those directly related to us, maybe not for those that are in our life day in and day out. Perhaps we're here to shine and grow for somebody who's watching that we will never ever know watched, to heal in a way ourselves that when we approach people, they automatically start to heal from the energy that we emit. The right people, places, and things will come into our journey, our path, our existence, sometimes for a second, sometimes for a day. We do not allow ourselves to get attached to those things, people, places, because we understand people will come in and be there for as long as is appropriate or needed for us or them. But we allow ourselves to keep expanding, evolving, growing, knowing that we are here to allow ourselves to be fully love, to be all encompassing in love. And if we truly understood love, we would know it's not something we give or take, it's something we are that emanates to everyone else. And the more we are in that state of love, the more we are love, the less we can explain it. But it doesn't matter that we cannot explain it because we show up as it. We allow all false masks to drop, to release, to be removed, so we can be pure and true as we were meant to be. And as we are pure and true as we were meant to be, everything opens up in us and around us. We allow our Father, our Creator's light and love to flow into us. And I want you to imagine white and gold light just pouring into you like a liquid, filling you completely, filling your heart, your head, going down your shoulders and arms and coming out of your palms and your fingertips like surgical weapons or tools, going down your torso and through your legs and coming out of your feet, allowing it to expand a minimum of 3 feet outside of you, allowing it to expand a minimum of 3 feet outside of you, knowing that in this moment, you may feel the frequency, the vibration, you may feel it, and you may feel your hands have changed, and you can simply direct your palm or your finger towards someone with love and intention, and they will also feel it. They will experience this. But with this, you know, you are not here to change somebody's beliefs. People hold on to what they need for as long as they need it. So you do not take credit or responsibility for where they are and if your love changes them. Because perhaps it's not supposed to. It's supposed to change you. Your love is for you, and whomever else wants that change will become love themselves also. Okay, take a last deep breath in. And let's release it now as we slowly and gently open our eyes. Okay. If you couldn't do this now, please come back and do it later. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm not done yet. We're not done yet, but thank you to everybody for being here and going on this journey of healing and love. If you felt something during this, please let me know. I know you're in the middle of work, Heather. Heather can't do it right now because she's in the middle of work. Hey, Maximilian, thanks for joining the room. Hey, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, Laura's. Thank you for joining the room. We just finished the meditation. If you want to go back and join the meditation or do the meditation later, please do. You guys, I know that sometimes my whole top of my head was feeling it. I love that. Rebecca's at work also. Fawn said the whole top of her head was feeling it. I love that. And you guys, I know a lot of you cannot do this now. Please save this, come back, do it again and again and again. This is one that you can do every day, especially that part where you're letting the light and the love into you. Heather says, I got tingly in my upper body. I love that. Even though she's at work and she couldn't fully do it, she was getting tingly. I love that. I need you to know that some people, and again, we feel like if we let our guard down, we're going to be taken advantage of. You are welcome, Rebecca. We're going to be in a place where we are maybe taken advantage of. Someone can hurt us because our guard's not up. And being love doesn't mean letting go of common sense. Being love doesn't mean letting people in that are hurtful. I think I'm a somewhat decent person and I'm working on it, but I know that I don't let people into my life any longer that will in any way harm me. So if there's somebody who used to be a friend or a partner or whatever, and they said or did things that were hurtful to me, and maybe in their world, that's perfectly normal behavior in their world. It's not in mine. And if it's not normal or it doesn't feel right to me, I'm not going to try to correct them or try to be such a good person that I allow them in or put up with their stuff and still give them love, because then I'm harming me. And there are people out there, and they may not even realize this, but they're just freaking game players. They play these little games with people. And those are the people that will make you think or feel that they care about you until they bamboozle you. What a word, bamboozle. Until they do something that's harmful. And then you go, what? But wait a minute. They weren't like this before. That was probably a one-off. No, it's if somebody kicked your puppy, if you had a puppy and this person was around your puppy like for a month, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just kicked your puppy, you're never going to leave your puppy with them again. Unless it's like a Rottweiler and it can grow up, and the next time they kick it, like the Rottweiler attacks them. Is that wrong? The point is, we don't allow people to treat us in this way. I would be going to jail too. So then why do we let people? If we wouldn't, and that's true because we're so passionate about our little animals, right? Why are we not that passionate about us? No matter what we've been taught growing up, we have to reteach and reprogram ourselves, because otherwise we have a generation of children, nieces, nephews that are repeating it's okay to allow people to treat ourselves this way, because alcoholism, a drug addiction, addictions of any kind, gambling, shopping, are all self-abuse and escapism. So we treat ourselves this way, and then we allow others to treat us in a way. And we have to start, it starts with us, because we can tell anyone and everyone anything. People do not listen to what we say, they watch what we do, and they learn from that. So we need to be so solid, even if today is the first day that we are love for us, for the inner child, for the infant, and then we emanate that out to show people how to be love for themselves. I can't teach someone to love themselves, especially if they've gone through a lot in the past that has taught them they're not lovable. I can do sessions and hypnosis and healing to remove all of that. I can tell them what boundaries are, and I like to call them rules, because boundaries, like many other words that people use, are so overused that people don't even anymore. But I suggest you make a list of rules of what you will and will not allow in your life, especially if you're single. Make a very good list of rules and stick to those rules, like you're running a prison. Because in prison, you know, if one rule gets broken, there's a riot, and that's it. And we can't have that. We can't have that chaos in our life. Make the list of rules like you're making it for your puppy, like you're making it for an infant. And you do not once do you let anybody break those rules. Not once. And allow yourself to just be love for yourself first, because the safest person when you're starting on this journey of being love, it's easy to say you love your kiddos, your partner, your pet. The safest and most effective change is to love yourself and to allow yourself to become that. And then any love you give will be so genuine and so strong and so permanent in others. You won't have to say it, because they will feel it from a mile away. When you think of them, your love will change them. And I'm going to go back to the water thing. When Emoto, I think his name is Emoto, he did all these studies with or experiments with water, where on one water he would put the word love, and on the other water he would put hate, and then he would freeze them, and the patterns would be completely, like the one that said love would be so beautiful, like a beautiful snowflake, a perfect, and the other one that said hate would be so fractured. It's the same thing with people. The more genuine love that we have for ourselves, the more our cells heal, the more our body heals, the more we have this knowing of everything, and the stronger our connection with our Creator is. Now, that doesn't mean when we're not in that space of love that connection is gone. It's always there regardless of. But the more we nourish that self-love, the more it emanates to everything else without even trying. All right. Does anybody want to say anything before we end it for today? Hey, Jonathan. Thanks for joining the room. Okay. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Next week's question, I'll be on tomorrow for my Thanksgiving Eve show. And then I will be back. I'm going to be doing a Thanksgiving show with Peter G on his show, which will be tomorrow night, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. I think his show goes 8 p.m. And then I'll be on the Peter G show Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And then I'm also doing this women's retreat either the 27th or the 28th with a woman named Astrid. So there's so much coming up. I'm going to be doing a Christmas Eve show. No, I think a New Year's Day show, and then maybe a Christmas Day show. You guys, should I do Christmas Day, Christmas Eve? Let me know. Next week's question. What if you came to, let me think. Okay. What if you came here to help return this planet to love by being love? Not by giving love, not by saying love, but by being love. Because what we are is what we spread. I can't wait till next week. Okay, you guys, I hope this was good. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm just going to say this before we go. Everybody keeps saying they want this planet to shift. They want, there's so much going on. If you know what recently, what one of the CEOs of Campbell said, they're not the only company. If you guys know what the CEO said, let me know. It's about their food products being for the poor, and that it's not even real meat in there. They're not the only ones. It's in the store. You need to read the labels. They have in the 80s, I think it was the 80s or the 90s, they talked about cloning Dolly the lamb. I can't, no words. If we think that by the time they showed it to us, they were already cloning people. Okay? By the time they showed us Dolly the lamb, what they were already cloning is unbelievable. But since then, yeah. So please read anything that says bio anything. Your meat should be, find a farmer, find a butcher that works directly with a farmer. Yeah. And you know what, you guys, Sam's Club and Aldi's, not even their food. They're finally advertising that they're putting a film on all of their lemons, limes, because they have to now. But I would not touch any of their things any longer. I would not. I think Whole Foods and Costco actually are decent. But if I were you, I order from a company that's supposedly very good, but I would find a farmer or a butcher that deals directly with a farm and a farmer. I would, for real. And also, as far as fruits and vegetables, I would find, again, if you are fortunate enough to live in an area where there are actual smaller farms, or, I would do that. But sometimes I live in the Midwest. There in the winter, it's tough to get fresh fruits and vegetables. Just be very, very careful of what you're consuming. Make it pure. Don't eat anything out of a box or a can if you don't have to. Grow as much as you can. at this time and point. But let's go back to if we are love. We talk about shifting. We talk about shifting the planet. We want the shift. We want people to wake up. It starts by being. If you know the 99th monkey analogy, by the time 99 monkeys know something, all of the monkeys everywhere know it. It goes the same for being. If enough of us transition into being love, it's not everybody says, "Oh, I want to be on the fifth dimension." That's I'm going to say this and I'm going to get so much hate from everybody who talks about this. That's dying and going to the next place. Folks, stop asking for that. Stop asking. Please stop asking for that. We didn't come here to go to another dimension. We came here for this dimension. We came here to transition this dimension, but we don't transition it by preaching at or looking at or whatever. We change us. And in changing us, we change all that is around us, all we come into contact with, and then all they come into contact with, not by telling them to, not by telling them to escape to another dimension, not by telling them to this or that, but just by changing us to being in that space. And that is that is what it is. So yes, so that is what we'll discuss this more next week at noon with the next question. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Until next week, have an absolute, well, I'll see you tomorrow, but if I don't, because it is a holiday week, if you're very busy and can't make it, it's okay. You can listen to the replays, but I'll see you on Thanksgiving Eve for my show and then Peter G show. And if you can't make either of those, it's okay. I will see you on the next one that we can be on. I love you all so much. Have an absolutely amazing rest of the day.